If you're ready to reinvent yourself, if you want to step into a new version of you, then I need you to hear something. Most reinvention advice says change your habits, be consistent with it, and over time you'll become her. And that's right, okay? That's not wrong. Our habits define who we are. But this is an overly simplistic way of looking at it, and it's a slower way to change your life. It's not wrong, but there's more to the story than that. And this is why so many people, they try to change their life year after year, but they keep failing. Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to feel like a completely different person when you're on vacation? You're in a new place, around new people, and suddenly it feels effortless to embody a different version of yourself. Or how much easier it is to reinvent yourself when you move to a new city where nobody knows you. Why? Why is that? It's not because all your habits magically changed overnight. It's because who you allowed yourself to be changed. Who you allowed yourself to feel like changed. Reinventing yourself really isn't about behavior. It's about changing who you allow yourself to be seen as, especially in relationship to the other people and the environment around you. And when your identity changes, your behavior naturally changes with it. So yes, your day-to-day habits are important, but they are not the path to reinvention. They are the result of reinvention. They are the result of who you allow yourself to be and who you allow yourself to be seen as and the identity you allow yourself to have. Behavior will always fall in line with identity. So if reinvention is about an identity shift and not necessarily a behavior change, then the question becomes, how do you actually shift your identity? Because changing your behavior is clear. It's concrete. You know whether you succeeded or failed, whether you woke up in the morning and went to the gym or not. But your identity, it's a concept. It's a feeling. It's not binary. It's not this clear black and white thing. It's internal. It's energy. And that's why most people try to reinvent themselves through solely changing their habits, because changing your identity, your sense of self, the way you feel in your body, your energy, that's more abstract. It's hard to grasp. Okay, I want you to think about this. Think about the best actors and actresses in the world, the ones that truly captivate their audiences and the ones that can play wildly different roles in different movies throughout their lifetime. You know, these actors that are just so good at what they do, okay? These actors are not just memorizing lines and repeating them once the camera turns on. No. They tap into the energy of the character they're trying to play. Temporarily, for that role, they take on that persona. The character's inner world now becomes their inner world. When you watch a truly amazing actor, it's like they become them. The character's emotions, instincts, beliefs, and ways of being become their own, at least for that role. That's why when you watch a truly great actor, it doesn't feel like they're acting, right? It feels like they are that character, because in that moment, they are. This is also why some actors really struggle with dark or disturbing roles, because in order to actually play that character well, you have to tap into the inner world of that character, and not everybody wants to do that, even temporarily, even for millions of dollars. So this is the part that matters, okay? This is the part I'm coming to. These amazing actors, they aren't just pretending to be their characters. They are embodying their characters. And that is a huge difference. Pretending is cognitive, right? You feel it in your head. It's asking, what do I have to do? What do I have to say to look like her? Embodiment is somatic, right? When you embody something, you feel it in your heart. You feel it in your chest. And once you embody it, you have no choice but to express it. It's where you feel like her first, so you become her. Most people try to reinvent themselves by copying behaviors. They act like the version of themselves they want to become, but internally, they still feel like the old version. And that's why it feels fake, because it is. Embodiment happens when your inner world changes, and your identity can start to shift when you can learn to embody a different energy from the one you're living in now. You might be thinking, but that's impossible. How do I embody a different version of myself? And isn't that faking it? Isn't it delusional? Well, remember how much easier it feels to reinvent yourself when you go on vacation or you go to a new city where you don't know anyone? You don't just act different, you feel different. You're not faking it. You genuinely feel different. And that doesn't happen because you tried super hard or because you forced all these new habits. It happens because in those moments, on vacation or in a new city or in a place where you don't know anyone, your internal sense of who you are loosens. And there's no one holding you to who you've always been. No mirror reflecting back to you your old identity or the roles you used to play. And in that space, a different way of being can come online. All I'm saying is that in those moments, embodiment is happening. Identity shifting is happening. And it's not fake. And when you feel like that new person on vacay, that experience is real. It's not pretending. It's real. It wasn't the new city that did it or the new environment that did it or whatever. It's that you gave yourself permission to be someone different. And so if you want to reinvent yourself this year, I want you to understand that that is what it takes. Not just waking up earlier and going to the gym and making a cute matcha, but actually embodying the identity and the energy of the person you want to become. Feeling like her from the inside out, not pretending to be her from the outside in. Okay, so you're feeling like a new person. You've embodied this new identity. You can feel it. You can feel it from your soul and it feels good and you're ready to live a new life. And then boom, all of a sudden, you're back to your old self. This is the trickiest part of embodiment and reinventing yourself that nobody talks about. What is actually difficult about reinventing yourself is not just embodying that new identity, but it's sustaining that identity and sustaining that embodiment when you return to your old environment, you see your old friends, and you return to the life and the relationships that expect you to be who you've always been. The hardest part, in my opinion, is not reinventing yourself. It's reinventing yourself in relationship to your mother, your partner, your best friend who you've known since you were 5 years old, or your coworker who you see every single day, Monday through Friday. You sit right next to her every day, Monday through Friday for the past 4.5 years. It's often the people we're closest to that keep us stuck. Not because they're toxic, not because they're necessarily trying to hold us back, but because they know who you've always been, right? And so they will interact with you. They will make assumptions about you. They will talk to you based on who you've always been. For example, your family knows how painfully shy you've always been your whole life, and you decide that that is no longer you, and that chapter of your life is closing. And so you are stepping into this new version of yourself, this confident, happy, bubbly version of yourself. But once you're around your family again, what happens? You revert back to your old self. That quiet, shy version of you comes right back out. Even just their presence brings it out of you again. Your best friend, she's always known you as the girl who's had terrible boyfriend drama, and that you're the one who picks the toxic ones. And there's always problems. So when you try to show up differently in relationships, she's still expecting you to spiral and bring all this drama to her and need her advice. And so when you go talk to her, she's already bracing for what you're gonna complain about, what went wrong this time. And that expectation alone can pull you back into your old patterns. Your coworker knows you as the person who's always running late. You never look professional. You don't really dress that well. So when you decide that you're gonna change that you're going to start looking your best every single day, that you are going to walk into that office 15 minutes early, that this stuff matters to you, that you're going to be responsible, that you're going to be professional, that that's just who you are now. What happens? They're still making jokes about your past tardiness. They're still seeing you through that lens. When you show up in a killer work outfit 10 minutes early, looking amazing, they're not expecting that. So then they say, oh my gosh, why do you look so nice? Is something happening today? Oh my goodness, look at you. You put in effort today. Why are you actually early today? What's going on? And then all of a sudden, it's awkward. Do you get what I mean? The most challenging part of reinventing yourself can be reinventing yourself to the people who have seen you be who you've always been. And when the people around you expect you to be a certain way, you almost can't help but become that person, for better or for worse. Whether you're the messy one, you're the disorganized one, you're the one who doesn't have her life together, you're the one who always has problems, or if you're the perfect one, you're always the bubbly one. You're the one who never complains about anything. Everything is always good. When people expect a certain version of you, you subconsciously want to play that role. So when you change who you are and you step into that next version of you, that means the dynamics in these relationships have to change too. And low-key, that is sometimes the most uncomfortable part. Sometimes really uncomfortable, because you're not just asking yourself to be different. You're asking everyone else to see you differently too, to relate to you differently, to let go of their assumptions about who you are. And some people in your life won't be able to do that. Some people in your life will keep pulling you back, keep making jokes, keep expecting the old you. And that's when you have to make a choice. Are you going to fall back into old patterns because that's what they expect? Or are you going to hold on to this new version of yourself, even when it feels awkward, even when they don't get it? We don't owe anyone consistency with our past selves. This is what I mean when I say reinventing yourself when you move to a new city where you don't know anyone is so much easier, because there's no one tying you to who you've always been. There's none of that awkward relational friction. No one's confused about why you're different. No one's making jokes about the old you. They just meet you as the new version, and that's who you are to them. But when you're reinventing yourself in your actual life, when you're around the people who have known you for years and you're still in the same environment, the same city, the same apartment, the same job, you have to be willing to live through that awkward period. That period where they're adjusting, they're a little confused, where the dynamic feels off and the character that you play in their life is changing. It's when your partner has to learn, oh, she's actually speaking up now about the things that bother her. She's not just swallowing it and moving on. It's where your friend has to learn, oh, she doesn't want to spend every weekend partying and gossiping like she used to. It's where your coworkers have to learn, oh, now she's taking up space. Oh, now she looks polished. Oh, now she's speaking up in meetings. She has opinions. She's volunteering for projects that she would have stayed quiet about before. It's where your mom has to learn, oh, she's not running every decision by me anymore. She's making her own calls. I don't really get a say in it like I used to. That's the part that no one talks about. Not the habits, not the routines, the relational discomfort of becoming someone new while everyone else is still relating to the old version of you, expecting the old version of you. And that's an awkward phase. And it's not a sign that all of this isn't working. It's actually a very clear sign that it is, that things are shifting. So if you really want to reinvent yourself this year, it takes embodiment. Not pretending to be her, but actually feeling like her from the inside out, channeling the energy of who you want to be and letting that dictate your behavior and how you show up. It takes being willing to sit in the relational discomfort when your mom doesn't understand the new you, when your partner is confused, when your friends don't know how to relate to you anymore. You have to be okay with that awkwardness. And lastly, you have to realize that there is no rebirth without death. Reinventing yourself is not just about becoming someone new. It's also about letting the old versions of you die, metaphorically speaking. Not because she sucked, not because she failed, not because you hate her, but because she belonged to a chapter that's over now. That's it. She belonged to a chapter that's now closed. Most people stay stuck and never reinvent themselves, not because they're incapable of embodying a new identity, but because they're unwilling to let the old one go. And you can't have both. And so that means letting the old version of you die. Even if that old version of you was familiar, even if people liked that old version of you. Reinventing yourself is not just about who do I want to be, it's what do I have to let go of. And most people only think about the first part of that question because that's the fun part. There's a lot of excitement in the becoming, but we often miss the second part. That transformation requires a letting go. Old stories, old beliefs, old patterns, old fears, old expectations, old roles you used to play. Are you willing to let some of those things die? It's not always comfortable to let things go. It's familiar, and our nervous system likes familiar. But are you going to choose familiarity or evolution? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you going to choose familiarity or evolution? Are you willing to sit in the awkwardness? Are you willing to embody the new identity before it's proven with habits, with routines, with results, or by how other people treat you or see you? Are you willing to embody the new version of yourself even when your life on the outside still looks exactly the same? When you're in the same apartment, in the same job, around the same people, not just when you're on vacation in some beautiful foreign country, because that's when reinvention actually happens. It's not an external behavioral thing. It's not. It's an internal embodiment thing. It's the energy you choose to operate from. And when you commit to that energy, your outer world shifts. How you show up, how you speak, how you move through the world, how you live your life. It has no choice but to. The question is whether you stay committed to that, even when it's uncomfortable, even when the people around you don't recognize it yet, or fall back into familiarity. That is the real work. Everything else will follow. Trust that everything else will follow. Good luck.